right, good morning. Welcome to my Wednesday devotional. As you can see, I got some new whiteboards that I've been working on. I've been fixing up my office or studio, so I can be a little more professional. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great summer. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a tan. I've been driving back and forth to drive my son to his job, so all that time in the car. And a little bit outside on the track and stuff like that. So, because I got to get ready for our vacation in about 2 weeks. So, that week, by the way, I might not be doing one of these. I might just do something live from wherever we're at. I can't say just yet. I don't like to jinx it. So, anyway. So we'll see how that shakes out. Okay, so right now we are on Esther chapter 3, verses 3 through 4. I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then we're going to talk about it. And because I've got a bigger board, I've been able to add a little bit. So we'll see how this works out. All right. Quickly, just to recall, last week's verse is where Mordecai, remember now, Mordecai and Esther, they're parallel stories. They were both, they are in the story obedient, courageous, and loyal, and that kind of thing. Well, Mordecai, who's taught Esther to be all those things, actually disobeyed an order that the king put out, where he got Haman to be pretty much like the king and then Haman. So kind of like an executive officer, or let's see, on Star Trek, I think it's first officer, something like that. The right-hand man of the king that has all the power, in other words. Okay, so Haman, right? So that's Haman. And so Mordecai is refusing to bow down to Haman because Haman's got it all worked out. Because Haman wants to be the king, he's got everyone bowing down to him, right? Okay, so that was last week. So I just wanted to recap that so you guys are understanding why this is really, it's an important plot point that Mordecai's refusal is like, Haman is just really stuck on that point, and it's going to end up being his downfall. And you'll see as we go on. I don't want to, spoil the story just yet. So, anyway, so that was last week. So this week, where are we at? Verse 3. So then the palace officials at the king's gate asked Mordecai, "Hey, why are you disobeying the king's command?" I think they're trying to help him. Like, you don't want to disobey the king's command. Look what happened to Queen Vashti. She was out, right? And that's how Queen Esther came in. So it's all good and for Esther, but seriously though, you disobey and you're out, right? Everyone can see that. And this king is not like in a small minor kingdom. He's running the whole show for that time period. So he's very important, very powerful. You don't want to say no to this guy, right? And here's Mordecai, just, nope, I'm not going to do it. And so verse 4, they spoke to him day after day, but still, he refused to comply with the order. Oh my goodness. So they spoke to Haman about this to see if he would tolerate Mordecai's conduct, since Mordecai had told them he was a Jew. Oh, no. Now, where else have we heard Haman, who starts with an H, in history, who also started with an H, that wanted to terminate all the Jews? Oh, yeah, that's right, Hitler. Hitler, Haman, Hitler, kind of interesting. Start with H. They both don't like Jews. Ugh, they want to kill them. Unfortunately, Hitler did in fact get away with it. Luckily, I don't want to spoil the story, but there's good news at the end of all this. So, but for right now, the bad news is Mordecai has got a plan in place. Well, actually, we haven't covered that yet, so I guess I did spoil it. All right. Well, anyway, you guys can read ahead anyway. This is just us analyzing things. Okay. So what is this? The part about where Mordecai is refusing to comply? Where else have we heard about that? Oh, that's right. In Daniel, the book of Daniel. Now, on the chronological time order, Daniel's first, his story, and then Esther. So it's interesting here. I don't know if they had such a way to find out about other stories. Like we have, different news outlets and the internet and stuff like that. But in those days, I don't know. I don't know how they found out about other people's stories, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. So anyway, prior to that was Daniel, right? So in Daniel chapter 6, verse 10. But when Daniel learned that the law had been signed, he went home and knelt down, as usual, in his upstairs room with its windows open to Jerusalem. And the rest of the verse goes, he prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had done, giving thanks to his God. So in other words, Daniel heard about a very similar order where they're supposed to be bowing down and not praying and that kind of thing. And Daniel's like, oh, let me just open those windows and show you how I pray to my God. you know, he just, okay, and just was really flagrant about it. Kind of funny. But, so yeah, that's quite courageous as well. So Mordecai, the same thing. Nope, not happening. Not going to bow down to Haman or anybody else other than God. Now, he didn't say that directly, but it's implied. Because remember, Esther's the only book where they don't mention God directly. It's just all implied. So it's kind of interesting. That's why I'm asking, like, gee, did he know about the story of Daniel? I don't know. Who knows? But it is interesting kind of parallels there. People in history that are standing up, going against what's evil. Because, Haman's the bad guy in this story, by the way. You'll see, And this is the beginning hints of, and he was a Jew. So, ding, 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 that kind of goes off in Haman's little head there. And he gets it all stirred up. We're about to find out. So, it's just interesting to think about. That's really courageous. Mordecai, Daniel, and other people that we hear about that stand up to the current authority and say, no, I'm not going to bow down, So my question to you is, have you ever had to do that, whether currently or in your past, where there's a situation somewhere, it's kind of situation like maybe a workplace thing or something like that, or somewhere else where there's peer pressure to be obedient and do something that you feel is not morally correct, Have you ever had to stand up and say, sorry, I'm not going to do that, Especially if you are generally an obedient person, like Mordecai. That was a problem. I think that's why, they were all speaking to him like, hey, man, what are you doing? They're trying to help him. They know he's a good guy. So they're just freaking out, right? So where else have you had to do that? Where else have you heard about that? Maybe in the news. Maybe there's something going on, where someone's having to stand up. I can think of a few stories. So anyway, I just hope that you can think about that this week, because this is a really compelling question. Do you stand up, or do you just, do what's easier and go along with whatever it is, and do something that maybe you don't feel is right, but you just don't feel like you have the courage to stand up yet? So, there's both sides. Which choice are you gonna do? So, let's pray about that this week and figure it out and think about what we can do or not do. Maybe it's time to stand up, maybe it's not. Sometimes the Lord wants us to be quiet. There are those circumstances too. But when it comes to something that's not moral, then that's where the rubber meets the road, right? In your faith. Do you trust the Lord to take care of you anyway and stand up to doing what's right, even if it means losing your job or something like that, or cost of your social status, or with your friends or whatever? Ooh, a lot of courage. All right, so let's pray for that. And I hope you guys are having a great summer and that you have a great week, and that it's not too hot and sweaty for you guys wherever you're at. And if you're going on vacation, that you have safe travels. And I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.